What's up everyone? This is Autumn from Resting Keto Face, and today we're going to make some low carb chili. On this recipe I just have all the stuff laid out for you at the beginning, and you can pause it and screenshot it, but I don't add macros to my recipes because all of our ingredients are going to vary. First, in this recipe I started out with some ground beef, and I recommend buying 80-20 ground beef all of the time because if you've done a keto diet before, then you know that it's better to have meats that are higher in fat than leaner meats. The reason that you do that is because you want your meat to help you stay full. So I just buy the cheapest 80-20 ground beef from Walmart. If you can afford better stuff, then do it. Grass-fed is great. I just can't afford that right now. So this is what we're doing. At the beginning, I stamp out my meat and then I flip it after a while. Next, I am going to mince an entire onion. This one gave me a little bit of a headache, so yeah, you can laugh at me all you want. But anyways, so here I am dicing this onion. Try not to cry. And then we're going to add that onion to a big pot in just a second. So now, while your meat's cooking, salt and pepper it, and then you are going to flip it over in chunks. And when you flip it over, break it up just a little bit more. At the beginning, you want it to be flatter on the pan, that way it browns the back side of the meat, and then when you flip it, it will brown the other side. So we're going to start our second pot going over here. I just put some olive oil in here. You want to get good quality olive oil. It's going to taste better. Don't buy low quality oils like canola oil. After this has heated up, I just added my onion to the pan, and then I am going to cut up some garlic now. The easiest way to do this is just to smash it with the back or the side of a knife, and then after that's done, I'm going to mince it. This garlic is kind of old, so it was giving me some problems too, and I needed to start the ground beef. But usually this is a very quick process, so yeah, don't take this to be how hard garlic is to cut up. It's usually very easy. Also, some recipes will tell you that you only need like 1 or 2 cloves of garlic, and that's honestly just crazy talk, because have you tasted garlic? I always use way too much. In this house, we multiply that garlic recipe by 5. So we're using half of a head of garlic here. So just keep stirring your meat and your onions. And once your onions have gotten a little bit transparent, we're going to add some things to it, like a whole can of crushed tomatoes. This is the big one. You want to make sure that doesn't have any added sugar to it. I just used some water to help get the rest of it out of the pan. Again, keep stirring your ground beef. You want it to start getting done at this point, and honestly, you can go ahead and turn off the pan if it's like this, because remember, your ground beef is going to cook down the entire time that it's simmering. So it's not the only time it's cooking. You don't want to make it dry. Anyways, here I just added some salt and pepper, some cumin, some paprika, and some chili powder. After it cooks down a little bit more, because I wanted to brown the ground beef just a little bit more before stirring, then I'll go ahead and mix that up for you guys. So now it's mixed, and I went ahead and turned off my pan. I don't need to cook it any further, and I'm just going to leave that there for now. Back to my other pot, I'm going to add the other ingredients. First, I added some of these low-carb beans. These are from Target, and for 1 serving of beans, it is 14 total carbs and 10 dietary fibers, so 4 net carbs. And I believe each can has 3.5 servings, so 14 net carbs per can is 28. But when you divide this recipe down into 10 servings, that's 2.8 net carbs per serving that the beans add. And for me, that's important. Chili is supposed to have beans, so I like it in there. We also added 2 cans of diced green chilies, and then I went ahead and spooned my mixture over here. You can pour it if you want. I wasn't trying to do this to avoid grease or anything. I just didn't want to lift up the really hot pan because cast iron's heavy, y'all. So I mixed it all up, and at this point I opened my box of beef broth and poured the entire thing in, and we're gonna mix it up again. Oh yeah, I forgot to put in the recipe card, but you can put your garlic in at this point, or you could have put it in with the onions. I just forgot. But what I did was I just put the garlic in that pan with that ground beef seasoning, and I mixed it around until it got just a little fragrant, and then I'm going to transfer it back over to the pot of chili. The pot of chili is still on medium to medium high heat. Right now it's just warming back up to temperature that I want it to be at, and then I'm just going to let it simmer down to cook off some of the water. Right now I'm adding some crushed black pepper. Then I'm going to do some salt and some more seasonings. If you guys are just using regular black pepper, like flaked, pre-ground, don't do that. There's honestly no substitute for some really good cracked black pepper. Okay, so I'm adding the rest of my seasonings from that recipe card at the beginning of the video to my chili pot now, and then I'm about to transfer my garlic over in just a second. Make sure it all gets mixed around well, and make sure nothing is on the bottom of the pot because you don't want it to burn. And if you've never tried moringa, I know that is kind of an optional ingredient. It's really delicious. We found some at a farmer's market that was in the East Chase shopping center over the summer, and we just loved it, so we bought the whole thing. Okay, at this point I'm just tasting for flavor, and then I'm going to add that garlic over there, and then you should cook it down and put a lid on it. I put a lid on first, but you know, that'll help. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today, and if you see another recipe you want me to do, drop one in the comments. Thanks!